A pleasure to meet all at last, and we are back at it again with HJN Season 5. So of course, while I didn't really grab my notebook with, I do at least remember what one subject in particular was. For this season of HJN, I'm more than happy to at least touch up on a certain thing known as augmentation. I will say, after doing some research, I can happily conclusify on the fact that, well, at least according to Oxford dictionaries, augmentation refers to essentially upgrading. Yeah, it's in a way synonymous with that. But augmentation, it does fall under a different context, however. Upgrading is meaning like a step up from something, while augmentation is, in a way, meaning a permanent setup in order to improve something. It can typically be applied on the basis of science, music, medical, and many other subjects. So there's probably no shortage of what the term augmentation can in fact apply towards. But I feel like that some people might not understand the fact that in a similar regard as to how other words that I've spoken of over the years, terms that some might not understand or have any immediate realization towards. We can look at augmentation in many ways, but truly, whatever the context is, and wherever we learned about it from, we can look at this as an important segment of our lives that has been improved in a permanent fashion. While upgrades are notably similar in a way to augmentation, there is of course the antonym known as downgrade. While we don't usually see those things happening, some might fall under regression for certain things. You could probably no longer have any money to afford something in particular. Like if you happen to get a really expensive phone and a big plan to cover it, chances are, like some long-term payment plans or financing programs, you could probably no longer afford them, no matter what it may be. In the same way as to how leasings on cars, bank loans, mortgages on housing, and other things might take place. It's especially important for us to realize that such long-term payments are nothing to negotiate with. The bank, of course, does hold almost permanent holdings until the full value is paid off. And then, of course, with augmentation, you can consider a value of importance, more so than how the previous iteration turned out to be. But then, a permanent upgrade is probably better than something that probably might not even last that long. In the same regard as to how I once had a car that was almost brand new, but ended up getting destroyed from some obstruction. That, of course, is a good example of how it doesn't really consider to be augmentation, but more of an upgrade that eventually got downgraded because of a certain accident. And so, while I feel like I might have gone off track in a bit, I'd say augmentation was something worth talking about here, because now, having nearly 4 minutes of my time with this does mean that I've spent a good amount of time talking about the main subject while also touching upon other things. Well, tomorrow, if I can get a hold of my journal, I'll have all the subjects in line that I intend to do for the immediate future, and of course, I'll be back with more of them in the near future.